Hello guys, don't forget to like this video, don't forget to subscribe, and hit that little bell right there so that you can get notifications every time I upload a video, okay? Enjoy. Hello guys, what is up? This is Andy Matrix, welcome to andyartstv, and man oh man, do I have one amazing anime to talk about today. I mean, I'm blown away. I'm absolutely freaking blown the fuck away with this show. Now, the first thing I want to say about Beastars is that when you first see it, if you're on Netflix and you're scrolling down looking for something to watch, and if you see this show listed on the anime category and just these animals dressed up in, you know, school outfits, the first thing you're gonna think, this is for furries. You're probably going to think this is for furries, right? The answer is no. It is not for furries, guys. As a matter of fact, although it's set in high school, it is not for kids either. Don't let your kids watch this, because there is nudity. As weird as that sounds, there's nudity here. There's smoking. There's murder. And what I found interesting about this is that it's a murder mystery. Basically, essentially, it's a murder mystery. Now, it seems to me like the entire story is based on a murder mystery, but they show the perspective of like, you know, each character, and the main character is a wolf. As you can see here, we have this group of animals in this world, and in Beastars, the animals in this world, they're separated into two categories. There's carnivores and herbivores, right? Carnivores, wolves, lions, dogs, any animals that eat meat. And then herbivores, rabbits, cows, goats, parrots, you know, any animal that eats fruits and vegetables, basically plants, herbs. And this is divided. This is really the division here. Like, and the funny thing about this, in the very beginning, there's a murder, and you see the racism here. Very related to the real world, when people start blaming the carnivores for the murder, because of course, who do you think is more likely to cause a murder? You know, basically, it was a sheep student that was killed, and because sheep are herbivores, yeah, it was a sheep or a goat. They're herbivores. So who do you think could murder or devour a sheep? And when I say murder, I'm not talking about with a gun. Murder as in like eaten. The animal was eaten alive. Okay? And so immediately they start blaming the carnivores, right? They start blaming the carnivores, and this is where the racism is. The prejudice, like, you're a carnivore, you probably did this. And it's similar to the real world, when a crime happens, we tend to blame a certain group of people who are of the minority or so, right? Or whomever we think could have done it. You know, like if somebody stole something, like in your, at least here in America, if somebody stole something, if some crime happens, the first group of people that usually gets blamed is, I'm not gonna say it, but think about it. And see, the philosophy in Beastars it's just, I mean, this is so well thought out that it's hard, you know, it's kind of hard to know where to start, because I'm not a guy that's into like high school anime. And when I used to be in high school, I would watch like Love Hina, things like that, Girls Bravo. But I haven't watched a high school anime in like years. I mean, God. And then I stumble upon this, and I am absolutely fucking amazed. Just amazed. Just my mind is just fucking blown. Like, at the psychology, okay? The psychology, I guess like the politics, the racism and prejudice, and the human nature added here. You know, every animal kind of like represents a certain group of people in Beastars, right? Like the wolves, the tigers, you know, all the carnivores hang out with carnivores, and of course all the herbivores hang out with herbivores, right? And it's they're trying to live together peacefully despite of their nature, because normally, um, carnivores, wolves, lions, tigers, they are the ones they are the ones who hunt smaller animals, right? And then the herbivores are usually running away from these animals, from the carnivores. That's the cycle of life. That's usually how it is, right? But here they're trying to overcome each other's nature so that they can get along in the real world. What does that sound like to you? I mean, seriously, what does that sound like? To me, it sounds like America. It sounds like the globalization that's happening now, where well, you have all this immigration. Like a lot of people are immigrating to America for like the last like 50 years. There's been huge immigration to America, and what happens is that certain group of people are blamed for doing certain actions, or when something happens, right? Like, for example, right now in the coronavirus, what's happening now with the coronavirus? Right now is March of 2020, and Donald Trump kind of like cut off all flights from Europe and China. And a lot of people, like, I think I was on Facebook, and one of my Asian friends said that a lot of people, they're afraid to buy Asian food because it comes from China, right? So there's always this blame towards a certain group of people. And then when I was in Japan, Japan are experiencing an increase in foreigners. So it's like they're experiencing this difference between their culture and the habits of these other people. And in Japanese, they call them gaijin, okay? I went to Japan last year, so I know what I'm talking about. And I know a little bit of Japanese. So, yeah, I mean, this is so profound. The meaning behind Beastars is such an amazing show. I didn't think that I would like it. And even the romance here, which I'm going to get into in a moment, the romance is absolutely just... It's amazing. It's so well done, and this is one of the reasons why people prefer anime over American cartoons, because anime is so deep. It has this deep, meaningful, just this. Anime kind of like forces you. These types of anime, they kind of like force you to look into your shadow self, kind of like contemplate yourself, And I know I sound very like new age here, maybe, but I'm 30 years old, guys, and this is the reason why I don't think I will ever stop watching these shows, because they are just so good, so mature, so philosophical, and yeah, man. Now, with this slide here, what I wanted to say is that I thought that the entire series was gonna take place in this high school, right? That was just gonna be like a high school anime with animal heads, right? But no, they take it to the real world. And it turns out that there's actually a black market where carnivores look for meat, right? Where carnivores look for meat, and you see these characters here, they're all carnivores, so they go and they go looking for they go to the black market, and they try to like buy some meat, but then they realize that because they have herbivore friends, it's really hard for them to like just, it's really hard for them to just eat meat. And man, this is kind of it's kind of symmetrical to what's happening in the real world, where constantly there's a bit. I'm not gonna say a battle, but like a war, but there's a bit of a battle between veganism in carnivores. Me personally, I used to be a vegan, but then I switched to carnivore, right? And there are people who start off as carnivores and they switch to veganism, right? And they stay vegans, right? So I kind of have both perspectives, like the whole compassionate side of vegans saying, oh, well, we shouldn't eat animals because of so and so. And then people saying, oh, well, we should eat animals because animals eat other animals and it's absolutely natural. And it's our natural diets as humans. We're supposed to eat meat. We're supposed to eat other animals, right? So I'm really glad they took this from like the high school setting to the real world setting, where we could see like, other things happening. And again, this is all part of the murder mystery that everybody's trying to solve within the series. So, and let me just go to the next slide here. Yeah, so they take it to the real world. So you do get to see how this world is. You got, goats, dogs, cats, all kinds of animals, birds, carnivores and herbivores. And, they just look like, like humans, regular people, but they have their own dilemmas and they have their own societal problems, just like we do. But it's a reflection of our real world. You don't find this shit with American cartoons, motherfucker. You really don't. You really don't. You don't find this shit. And this is why I absolutely fucking love anime. Now, oh yeah, so I forgot the deer guy's name, but yeah, everybody's like kind of like dealing with their insecurities. I mean, remember this takes place in high school, so a lot of characters, especially the wolf here, Legoshi, they deal with a lot of insecurities, so you kind of see like that high school behavior, the hierarchy in high school, and they also everybody talks about getting laid, losing their virginity, so and so and so, and Legoshi is the feeler, this guy that's heartful, it's just full of love, right? And he's this he's quiet, he's soft spoken. If you ever play Final Fantasy VIII, you know how Squall is like always thinking, and he doesn't like. He's always in his head. He doesn't really like say much. That's basically how Legoshi is. He doesn't really speak his mind much. And what I really want to get to in the romance in this anime is the relationship between these two. And I have yet to see something like this. And I think it's because it's shown with animals. And if you see here, the rabbit, Haru. She's basically kind of like the slut of the school. And she lost a lot of friends being the slut of the school. But what happens is that we find out the reason why she becomes a slut. And this actually helps you understand female psychology here. Remember, there's a lot of psychology here. A lot of psychology, and people are showing this. It's kind of like very, I don't know if I should say very Shakespearean. But, man, it's so deep. Like, she says that the reason why she sleeps with men is because she's a rabbit. She's a dwarf rabbit. So dwarf rabbits are very short in this world. And dwarf rabbits are very short in this world. So she's always been protected. Like wolves are, like bigger animals are always trying to protect her because she looks meek, she looks weak. And her whole life she feels as though people are always kind of like looking down at her as just the weaker being because she's this small animal, right? But what happens is that she finds kind of like strength and equality and validation in sleeping with a lot of men. And this is typical, high school girl behavior and in college behavior, right? A lot of girls, they're insecure about themselves, the way they look. Like maybe some girls, they're like they used to be big girls that weighed a lot, and then yes, they got older, they lost the weight and they became more beautiful. So now they're getting all this attention from boys, and then they start sleeping around with a lot of guys. And I mean, there's a consequence to that. I mean, you can do whatever you want with your body, but there's always a consequence to sleeping around with a lot of people. Okay, I believe that. Now, and this is the female psychology, where like the female nature, like how insecure she was, just like the other characters, by the way, how insecure she was. Like she sleeps with the guys in school, so that she can get validation, so that she can feel better about about herself. As a matter of fact, there was one character that tried to like give her money, kind of like prostitution. And then she said, I don't want your money. Like, I just want your love. Like, because, and truly, that's how relationships should be. Shouldn't be about the money. But she, like, this is so, like, it's so related to the real world. And you actually learn a lot about female psychology here. And you actually learned a lot about you see yourself in these characters as well. I mean, me, when I'm gonna tell you straight up, guys. When I was in high school, I was Legoshi, the wolf. I was just like him, quiet, shy, and just this guy that doesn't talk a lot. I was basically the kind of like the follower. And Legoshi's constantly trying to fight against his own nature because he wants, like a part of him as a wolf, he wants to eat the rabbit, but it's not allowed. You can't do that. That's considered like, that's devouring. That's illegal, basically, in school. He's trying to devour this rabbit, but he's also sexually attracted to her. And as weird as that sounds, I know this is an animal world, in animal anime, but in this world, yeah, like other species have, sex with each other. Yeah, it does happen. As a matter of fact, where is that? I'm gonna show you this slide. You see Haru kind of like going down on Legoshi, and because she was assuming that the reason why he was spending so much time with her was because he wanted to sleep with her. And no, and that wasn't it. He wasn't thinking about that, right? But she was thinking about that because that's how she gets validation, and that's how she gets like attention from other boys. And because she's so small, that's a way of her to like kind of like feel strong about herself, like female empowerment. And that's usually, of course, that's usually because she's like sleeping with a lot of guys. That's usually what a lot of guys want from her, except Legoshi. He was kind of like the exception. And also Legoshi was a virgin, so he didn't have any experience. He never had a girlfriend, so it's no wonder, he couldn't read the signs. I was exactly like that before, when I was a virgin. I couldn't really understand the signs of like what, female nature, and when a girl would actually like you. And it was really hard for her to read him because he was the only guy that was not trying to like sleep with her. And you know what? A lot of girls kind of like find that kind of special, A lot of girls kind of find that really special. And there's this beauty. There's this beauty because he's a wolf, right? But he's a shy wolf. He's a timid wolf. And she is this small rabbit girl. And she's basically the slut of the school, but they make this connection that is so profound, and so this attraction starts to build up on her. It's kind of like, when people say good girls like bad boys like good girls, and then good guys attract bad girls, and good girls attract bad guys. You see this at work here. So, you kind of see this at work because she's considered the slut of the school, but he is he's a wolf. He's he's a carnivore, and she's a herbivore. So immediately you have this, this kind of like this, I guess, this dilemma. Like, should I do this? Should I not? And in the entire series, they're struggling with this. So besides it being a murder mystery and all these things going on, this is also a philosophy of, can love overcome our physiology, our needs, our instinct, right? Because on the one hand, people want love, and the other hand, there's attraction and instinct. They're attracted to each other because of their differences. Okay, it's not just because they have a lot in common, but because of their differences. Like, he's this huge wolf, and she's this small little rabbit. And to him, that is so erotic. And I've had this too. And I'm going to say, like, man, like, one of the reasons why I like Asian women is because, like, there's like, I'm a Latino, so I'm not that big, but I'm a Latino. They're so small. And, like, you want to, like, grab this, as a man, you want to, like, grab it and just kind of, like, like, fuck the shit out of them. I'm talking crazy here, guys. But, yeah, this is true. This is human nature at, you're seeing human nature here. It's not just with animals, but this is very true. And this is why I love this show. You have this psychology and this philosophy and this murder mystery happening all at once, and it's done harmoniously, guys. And I don't know if I should say harmoniously, but it's done so well and it's so well presented. It's like, I absolutely love this anime. This has become one of my favorite anime of 2020. Like, I haven't seen anything like this in a long time, and I'm probably gonna keep talking about it on this channel. I absolutely fucking love it, and thank you, Netflix. I want to thank Netflix for bringing this show to life. This video is on 20 minutes now, but to wrap this up, I want to thank Netflix for bringing this to life. Netflix is making a lot of amazing shows, and really bad shows too. Netflix is making a lot of good shows, a lot of bad shows, but I'm glad because, you know, even with the bad shows, at least, you know, you kind of like get to see something that you know, some things that should have not been, and that then lead to things that should be, right? So Netflix is providing a lot of content, a lot of amazing content, and I'm really grateful for this. I don't know, man. I fucking love anime. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up here. And this scene, you guys gotta watch this. You guys have to watch this show. So that is it, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to me blabbering about this anime. So thank you for watching. Check out my Facebook, check out my Twitter, check out andyartstv. I'm definitely gonna be writing a blog article about this anime. Like this video, leave a comment below, and most importantly, subscribe. It helps this channel grow. And I mean, I want to create a community about this because I fucking love talking about this stuff, guys. Peace out, dudes. This is andyartstv. Don't forget to subscribe.